Hey guys, welcome back for one more session. For this time, we're gonna continue on the topic of PDG with ComfyUI. Just give you guys some considerations about which attributes should you use when you're wedging things. It's more of a workflow thing. So we're here in Houdini, and for this example, I have a different top net, and let me show you what I'm doing here. So we do have 5 prompts. And I'm setting up this compound graph here to do the following wedges. I'm gonna wedge the prompt. So these are all 5 prompts I'm wedging. I'm also wedging the seed. So let's see how I'm bringing that prompt parameter to my compound graph. So here on my compound graph, I have a clip text encode. So all I'm doing here is between these two signs, adding a prompt mark, and that's pretty much it. If you middle mouse button, you're gonna compute the function, and you can see what's the change here. But mind you, you gotta have a work item selected for that to work. So what I'm gonna do here is like have 5 wedges. Each one of these wedge is one of the prompts. I'm doing the seed as well. I'm sending this to the ComfyUI to render so I can get 5 images back. And these are the 5 images I'm getting back. And let me show you how you can kind of retrieve those images and reuse them inside of in Houdini. So one special thing is that these images, they are being generated with 2 digits at the end. And the first digit here is our wedge index. So in order to read those back successfully in Houdini, it's not only about placing $F. I do need to prepare these path with the wedge index. Okay, so I have here the wedge index +1 because we're starting at 1 there. And that will allow me to, not only me, but continue to be able to cycle through these images as we change the wedge index. So with that said here, I have a font where I'm grabbing the seed and adding the seed video. I'm doing a bound to rect to create this rectangle here. At the same time, I created a constant that is just a single color, and I'm blending that to get a color of the back of the box. And then I'm eroding it, and this gives me this interesting soft edge and fall off here. And then I'm merging this back to the blend. And this dilate erode here is just kind of to add an extra bolden to the image. So all that gets blended over the original image, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. Here on my raw image 1, I'm gonna gonna tell where I wanna save this guy. I'm calling these images gen and then wedge index one more time. Saving them as PNG this time. And they get reingested to my topnet through a fetch. So if I want to write those images or trigger the writing of them, all I gotta do is add a ROP fetch here and put the path to my ROP, and that will trigger them to be executed and added on top of the original image. So once that's done, if you want to read those images back, I also recommend you uh, using this technique here to read the wedge index one more time, and you can cycle through them by looking at the work items. Later I have a wait for all here, waiting for all the renders to complete, and at the bottom I have a um, image magic running here to do my concatenate. And all I'm gonna do here is double click on this guy and grab my job, and I created a sheet with all the image that I generated with the seeds that they created, and I could add as many information on top as I want. Just an important consideration at the moment, if you try to write the prompt on top of the image, the font node will not adjust the text length to the size of the image. So basically you get a single prompt that kind of goes beyond the edges of the image and you get cut out. So That's something we need to improve, and hopefully will be a solution for that soon. All right. So this is just an overview of how you should work when managing these top workflows. Just an example, especially to help you avoid circumstances where you might want to put a $F here, and basically this won't work correctly inside of the PDG logic. So using this wedge index here and also at the ROP allows PDG to read all the data correctly and be able to cycle through and add the add the city information on top of the correct images. All right. So that's just a quick video about this topic. See you on the next one.